Excel's Vlookup is an easy-to-use function that can help you display and operate on information from multiple sources. I used to work in a call center, very stats-heavy environment, lots of reports, lots of things to combine and show relationships from, and learning this function really helped me propel my career. Here's an Excel doc with two sheets representing two sources of data. Let's say you want to combine some call information, call stats, with some sales information for a given day. The first sheet contains your call data. You've got your names and ID, the calls, the average handle time, after call, hold, transfer, etc. The second sheet has some basic sales profile information, products sold, point values, goals, etc. You'll notice on both reports there's an ID column, and this is what the Vlookup formula is going to use to reference and pull that information over into one sheet. On the call stats sheet, I have two columns that will capture both sales and points. I'll also get a sales per call and points per call value using the data that I'm able to pull over. Go to the first cell you want the data pulled to and type equals Vlookup. Then hit tab. That will give you the formula and show you what info you need for it to work. The first value you're going to enter is the cell you're going to look for on the other sheet. We're going to select the ID cell. The next value is the range of cells that the formula will look in for that ID. The easiest way to get this is just simply click on the sheet that is your other source of data and then select the columns that you want as the range. I like to select the columns because you don't have to worry about data running outside of the range, especially if you're going to be copying that formula to other cells. I should also mention to make sure to type comma between these values. The next value is the number of columns between the data that you're looking up versus the data that you're trying to get. In our case, that'll be 2 and 3. The column you're looking up always counts as 1. In a nutshell, the formula is basically using the ID to look at the range, then counting the number of columns that you've specified from that ID and grabbing the information. And because the counting is from left to right, you'll want to make sure that the data you're trying to get is always to the right of what you're using in the lookup formula to identify it in that range. The final value of the formula is true or false. False will give you an exact match. True will give you a fuzzy match. I typically want an exact match, so I'll be using false. I'll now be doing the same thing to capture the points. The ID I'm looking up is the same, the range is the same, the only thing different is the column, in which case it's now 3. I can copy that formula down to other cells by grabbing the little black box in the lower right hand corner of the cell and dragging it down. You can also just copy and paste the formula. It'll update the cell values that you're looking at so you don't have to change anything. This is the reason I select columns in my range, because if I copy and paste this cell elsewhere, it'll also update the numbers it has in the range. So if I just select the columns, there are no numbers. However, if I didn't do that, if I selected like A1 to G27 and I pasted a cell below, that range could update to A2, G28, for example, and I could potentially be missing data. I can then use the information I've pulled over into this sheet to perform operations on to show things like sales per call and points per call. Vlookup isn't the only option to do this, but I found it pretty easy to use, and it will allow you to perform wonders in any environment that has multiple sources of data, saving countless hours and making life easier for your peers. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe. There will be more tips on the way. Thank you. Have a good day.